Correct.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now we have the Rockets. Houston Rockets.
Rockets fans here?
Yes, of course.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't make it to the next round of playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're going to wish Oklahoma, they were the winners, and wish them best of luck.
Well, how about the Spurs?
San Antonio's still in the game.
Yep. They took care of the Lakers, you know, busted out the broom and took care of that. Any Lakers fans out there? But we can talk all we want because they're still a Texas team, right? So,
That's right.
Yeah, we wish them luck.
yeah.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Anything else going on out there?
That's it.
Okay. Politics, local politics, city council races. We got the mayor's race already starting to heat up. The competitor this year, Mr. Ben Hall. Maybe we can get him out here. Well, I think this might be our last show. But if it is or isn't, if we can get back on, they're already throwing
This
the
is our
dirt.
last show for this season, by
For
the
this
way.
season, temporarily. We're going to take a little hiatus during the summer, so you're watching the last show for now. But Mr. Ben Hall, the attack ads have started.
Oh, have they? I haven't seen
They
them.
started already, and they're laying claim to the fact that he pays his tax bills late. You know, and his property tax late. So
Ben Hall's paying them
Mr.
late.
Ben Hall was paying
But
them
he's
late.
paying them.
But he's paying them. So credit needs to be done where it needs to be done, right? But
That's
he
right.
doesn't pay him on time, and he's racked a lot of fees. And in the last transaction, I think he paid close to over $80,000 worth of fees. So they're making an issue of it, but the difference is that he paid them.
Mhm.
You know, so I don't know. What's your feeling on that? You're okay with paying late?
I think if that's the worst thing they can come up with, I think you can live with that, don't you?
I mean,
You know?
as long as he's paying, I don't see an
Exactly.
issue.
I mean, you know.
I mean, there's always situations where someone gets into that they don't have the money right then and there
Mhm.
to pay their taxes. And the average American runs into issues like that.
Absolutely, we're all running on budget crunches. The federal government's living off a credit card.
Yeah. You know,
So-
speaking of debt, there's a rise in suicides.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the economic downturn.
Mhm.
And they see a rise between the ages of 35 and 44.
Really? I thought you were going to say a little bit older because I was actually just reading a different article from the AARP or different one of those groups that people reaching retirement age, they're realizing that their money's not going to hold them over for the next 5 or 10 years, but they're intentionally just stopping any kind of medical treatment and just accepting fate as it is and
Wow.
just passing away or doing their best to pass away as quickly as possible because they did not financially plan for a strong retirement. And that alone is very difficult. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but it's, you know, I can easily say there's a lot of people out there that are not saving for retirement for tomorrow, and we're starting to see the impact of that.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of people that are going through some tough times right now. They lose their job, they lose their house, and in some cases they lose their family, divorce, you know,
Yes.
and you go downhill.
So
Yes.
hopefully we can get people to save a little bit of money, maybe donate a little bit more, and bring some awareness to some important areas. And I think that's why our guests are here. Right?
Yes.
So what we're going to do right now, or any other, we're good to go?
We're good to go?
Okay, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a real quick break and we're going to come back and introduce to you our guests that you've been seeing here with us right now. But we're going to get right into the topics, okay? You're watching Latino Talk TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now we're going to let our guests introduce themselves today, and we're going to let them explain exactly what the Shriners Hospital is doing, and also to bring a little bit of awareness to childhood cancer. Okay, so please introduce yourself. And
Well, we're going to talk cancer. We'll let her go first.
okay, either one, whoever wants to go first. So
Put me on the spot. Well, my name's Danita Gallegos. I'm actually a social worker, and I've worked in various hospitals in Houston, mostly in the medical center. I've worked with MD Anderson, Memorial Hermann, and Texas Children's. I don't necessarily, I've worked in the children's cancer unit at the Children's Hospital, but I actually do a lot of things outside of the hospital to raise awareness for childhood cancer. So.
Okay, so what kind of things do you do? What's the main goal, the objective?
I work a lot with the American Childhood Cancer Organization, the ACCO. They have a lot of programs that that you just pick up from their website. And so it's easier because they have all the flyers, they have all the information that you can pass out. It's good information because you can just print it and go about your way. You don't have to really do anything behind the scenes. It's more, their focus is about raising childhood cancer awareness, and so you just print and you pass it out. They have things during Halloween, it's coloring sheets, and it basically says, in order to help raise awareness for childhood cancer, just color this page and stick it in a trick-or-treat bag. And that's something that's easy that the kids can pass out themselves. They have a program called P-Jammin' for kids with cancer, and that is an actual event that you can host at a school or a business, and you donate $1 to wear pajamas to school or to your workplace for that day. And all that money goes back to the American Childhood Cancer Organization. They have programs called Going Gold, and that's something I actually hosted last fall. And it's the same thing. Everybody wears gold for childhood cancer and donate money, and the money goes back to the organization.
You know, I attended a civic club meeting the other day in District I, which is southeast, in Manchester. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but Manchester has one of the highest rates of cancer in the city of Houston.
Wow.
Yeah, because they have the Port of Houston was actually Port of Houston is one of the ones that kind of hosted the event. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's air quality issues. There's water issues, and as a result, the children they have cancer. Mm-hmm. And I think it's something that needs to be addressed at the city level, at county level, state level, federal level, because I haven't seen a lot of hype on it. And I would really like to see one of the mayor candidates, or even the mayor herself, to actually talk about the issues and how we can move forward in helping these kids and even future families, if you will, so they're not exposed to this type of air quality and water issues that they have.
Yeah. And it's a big deal because the funding is just not there either. The funding is 3% compared to what adult funding is for cancer. That's nothing. I mean, that's for the children, that's nothing. And they actually suffer a bit more than adults because they have the cancer when they're younger, and it affects their organs and their muscles and their body. I mean, the chemotherapy is really harsh on the body. So imagine being 5 years old, going through that, and then you have the rest of your life, and you have long-term effects of the chemo for the rest of your life. And so the funding is just not there.
Not to mention many of these kids that are getting the chemo and the radiation, they're not going to be able to have kids. Mm-hmm. You know, so their legacy stops with them. And so it's kind of unfortunate that these kids have to go through all that.
Yeah.
And they're so young, and they really, their life has been cut short. My cousin, Peter Escamilla, you know him from LI, he suffered from leukemia. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you what the difference is between leukemia and other things that you see, but I will tell you that seeing him grow up as a so-called cancer patient was very difficult on the family, especially when the family doesn't have resources to maintain their medical bills and all the doctor's visits, et cetera, not to mention time off from work. It really takes someone very special to care for a cancer patient, especially if they're so-called there's a breadwinner that has to work, and then you have to take care of the child, and especially if it's one parent, it's very tough, you know. And I will tell you that my aunt was a single parent, and she was taking care of my cousin, and so I remember the days when she would have to take off from work to go to whatever sessions they had with the doctor, and it's long term. It's not a one time deal. It's a long term deal where they have to sacrifice.
Wow.
Yeah. There's so much that's involved. It's the more you talk, the more I think of this patient and that patient. But a lot of things, and I was showing you just a minute ago, some of the families have to do their own fundraising. The patients that do have Medicaid insurance, that's a huge help because Medicaid will actually reimburse for gas assistance or hotel lodging if they're from a certain distance outside of the city or the county. But like you said, the expenses, just any other expense is huge. And even the two-parent families, if they're both working and supplementing the income, that's one income that's lost. And then you have the siblings, and that's a whole nother issue that ties into it, because if they're young, they don't really understand what's going on. Sometimes they have to miss school, or sometimes the parents are actually living in the hospital with the patient, and the sibling just pretty much misses out, and they're bouncing from family members home to family members home because the resources just aren't there. And there's a lot of money in childhood cancer, but it's still just not enough.
Wow.
So.
You're speechless.
I'm speechless. That's when it gets to my heart. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And I'm just curious, the organization that you represent, their funding comes from what?
Well, I don't actually represent them. That's the organization that I like to work with a lot, because the program director, she's like in Washington, D.C. or somewhere. But if I email her, she emails me right away. She sends me information. They're really good about it. And then what I love about them is that any family that has a child with cancer, or just anybody who's interested in learning more about cancer, you can sign up on their website, which is acco.org, and they will send you a materials packet. And it has books. I got this book actually from that packet. I don't know if you could see it. And it's about, it's for the siblings. And then they have a book in Spanish, they have a journal, they have a stuffed animal that comes, and it's just a big box of stuff that helps the families. And it's just a really good resources. And they send this, it's worth about $100. They send this to the families for free. And the money that goes to them, they actually fund the materials packet, but they also send the money for research. And they do a lot of things, but it's an easy organization to work with, and they're very helpful, and they're all about spreading awareness and making gold that color. Like we know pink is the color for breast cancer. Automatically you see pink and you think breast cancer.
Right.
We want to push out gold to make sure everybody understands that gold is the color for childhood cancer.
Wow.
Wow.
So, wow. Okay.
There's so much.
That's the first one for me.
There's so
Okay.
much.
Well, anyways, now let's. We also have from the Shriners Hospital.
Yes.
Please introduce yourselves now, and we can go and talk about what the Shriners Hospital does, which I know it's just as important too. So.
I'm Dominga Martin, and this is Reed Clark. And we, unlike any other hospital, that I'm proud to say, we don't charge for care. And we just recently started accepting insurance. And that makes us so unique in the entire medical field, okay?
Wow.
So regardless of your ability to pay, we don't turn you away. It goes by whatever you're diagnosed. So we have the cancer up in Galveston, and then we have the orthopedic here in Houston. And it's because of these guys who go out and fundraise that we don't charge. And you might want to talk a little bit about that, Reed.
Well, the Shriners, in order to be a Shriner, you have to be a Master Mason. In order to be a Mason, the old saying is to be one, ask one. And it's a great fraternity. It's the oldest, one of the largest. Just about every major city and every state in the United States has a Masonic Lodge. And in 1870, the Master Masons got together. There was two, Dr. Fleming and Mr. Florence, who decided they were going to create an appendant body of the Masonic Lodge, which was the Shriners. And they had been to an Arabian diplomat's party, and they saw the Middle Eastern theme. And in colleges, you have the Greek theme, you know, for college fraternities. So they decided to use a Middle Eastern theme. And they decided then they wanted to open up, the hospital at the time was called Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. We have since evolved into the Shriners Hospital for Children. All Shriners are considered part owners in all the hospitals. We are international. We have hospitals in Canada, the United States, and Mexico. We're expanding out even more into Mexico and Canada. I'm active with the hospital committee, which is the volunteer arm for the Shriners Hospital here in Houston. I have been to the Galveston Hospital, which is the burn center, and here in Houston, this hospital deals with orthopedic care and cleft lip and palate. And we have kids that come in from South America, Mexico, I mean all over, every state you can think of, they come to the hospital, and regardless of their ability to pay, we've paid for flights, we've paid for bus transportation. We make sure these children can get taken care of and get the best care that is available. We have some very good doctors.
I went to the Shriners, the burn, what is it called, the burn unit?
Mm-hmm.
The burn unit?
Mm-hmm.
We went to go play games with the kids that were there, that were hospitalized there. I will tell you that there's some serious burns there, you know,
Yes.
and some of these kids were completely wrapped and they couldn't move, you know, so we kind of helped them with the games that we played with them. It was a very enlightening experience, that's for sure.
And the difference between us is that, like she was saying, you know, a lot of depends on the income. I mean, you know, and the difference between, you know, that situation and them coming to our hospital is that, like, my job is I work with them, getting them over here, like from Mexico, all the way from Mexico, whether it be bus or however we get them here, and they pay for it. The Shriners pay for it. Once they get here, we accommodate them with lodging and meals and clothing and baby milk and, you know, whatever it takes to get that child from point A all the way through, from birth all the way to 18th, we take care of them. Once you are a Shriner child, you're always a Shriner child, right?
Yeah.
And so, and recently they developed a transition program because they were finding out that we're spending all this money and then they weren't living productive lives. So they developed a transition program. So now what we do, we have a social worker that we work with, that he prepares them for college. He prepares them for the real world. He gets them a job before they, you know, we release them to say, listen, this is what you have to do, you know, resumes and filling out timesheets. They don't know. They don't know. So we prepare them for the real world. And so it's really been a blessing to see that come back. I had a lawyer call me from Mexico a couple of days ago to say, thank you, because of what you did. I am a lawyer today, and I'm in Mexico. I'm living a very great life, but now I'm trying to help somebody else, you know. So that's tremendous. I mean, you know, it's hard enough raising kids. It's even harder when a child has a disability. It's even harder when you have a financial thing going on too. So we do come to the rescue. That's what our theme, our thing is, Love to the Rescue. They recently developed it. So we're very
So these
happy.
are basically unsung heroes,
Right.
if you will.
Mhm.
You know, and I didn't realize Izzy Gomez was a
Yes,
Shriner.
yes, he is.
No wonder he has his parties over there all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But you know, there's a lot of unsung heroes out there that are doing some great work, and I'm just glad that you're here today to share what you all do, because there's a lot of misinterpretation about what you all do. Do y'all just have a dance hall? Y'all have parties?
You're cool.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so in a nutshell, tell us a little bit about what you do, because you're in the volunteer side, right?
Right, correct.
What is it that you do specifically?
Well, what I do at the hospital itself is I volunteer to drive. We have Shriners that volunteer to help with the sign-in desk. We have anything from volunteering, many different jobs around the hospital. Going to visit with some of the children. I mean, that's some of the most exciting the exciting part of my month is being able to go up there, volunteer, go see some of the same kids that have came back for more care. And I belong to Arabia Shriners, which is the Shrine Center here in Houston, that we all meet together. We do fundraisers, a lot of different barbecue cook-offs. We have different units, the clown units that you'll see them in parades or at the Shriners Circus. The circus itself, we just got through with the circus, helps raise a lot of money for the Shrine Center, which in turn helps pay for a lot of the care provided at the hospital and transportation.
You need another clown?
Right there. I'll be honest with you, you're one of the youngest, Shriners I've seen out there, because usually I just see the Shriners in the little cars in the parades.
Right.
And you're about a third of the age.
Right. Well, one of the things is we do have a lot of younger members, but they're usually on shift work or working different shifts, so the retirees are the ones you usually see as the face. I happen to own my own business, and God's blessed me with that to where I can volunteer and put time into that, and it's something I really look forward to. And to tell you a little more, what I'm wearing now is called a fez, and most people think of it as a hat, but it's a fez, and it was named after the city Fez in Morocco. And each one will have the Shrine Center you belong to. It'll have their name, which ours is Arabia here in Houston, which is located on Harwin Drive. And then it'll tell what you belong to in the Shriners, whether hospital committee, if you're a part of the Clown Jewels, which is the clown unit, that provide entertainment for the kids at the hospital, at the circus, at many different events. So each one will kind of tell you what that Shriner does within our organization.
I want to be part of the bingo committee.
Don't trust them with anything. So what kind of business do you own?
I own RC Clark Investments. I buy and sell small businesses, and one of the businesses I've invested in is Ready Maids, which is a commercial industrial cleaning service, and we service the greater Houston area, and been very successful at that, and definitely give the thanks to God for that.
That's good, and all that other benefit goes right to the Arabia Shrines too, huh?
That's definitely that's what's been happening. You know, as God's blessed me, I turn around and give back to the hospital or give to the Shriners or Masonic Lodge, because we operate, most people don't know, but the Masonic Lodge has appendant bodies such as the Scottish Rite, which we also have the Scottish Rite Hospital here in Houston. We have the Eye Foundation that is operated by the Knights Templar, which is a York Rite appendant body of the Masonic Lodge. We donate more per day as Masons, Shriners, Scottish Rite Masons, York Rite Masons than any other organization in this world.
How many Shriners are there here in Houston?
I don't have the exact number, but I can tell you when we have a meeting, there's a lot of guys there, and it's a lot of fun.
As in hundreds, thousands?
There's usually probably, I would say, hundreds at a stated meeting,
okay.
and but there are thousands that are members, paying dues members.
So what can we do? What do you need us as a community to do to help on both groups? What would you like for the community that's watching out there to do for you?
I think the biggest thing that I always hear, and especially as a social worker, the first thing you hear is, "Oh, that must be so sad." Like, and it makes me cringe because these are kids. There's a poem out there, and I was trying to look for it today, and I could not find it. But the first time I read it, it made me cry, and I'll probably cry right now. So, but it basically was from a child's point of view, and it went into kind of the child asking the mom, "Why are people looking at me like that? Why don't they smile at me? Why do I?" You know, they already lose their hair. And I actually worked with leukemia patients, so I know that diagnosis actually has an 80% cure rate. But other diagnoses like neuroblastoma, it's a very low cure rate. But they're still kids, and I think that's the biggest thing to keep in mind is they want to be smiled at. They want you to go talk to them. They don't want to be seen as, "Oh, that's so sad." And it's easy to tell us as adults, "Oh, that must be a sad job." But to be honest, the time that I worked in the cancer unit, it was the funnest time I ever had, because these kids, they're so resilient. All kids are resilient, but they're so resilient, and this is their life. This is what they know. They don't really know, you know, as adults, we know more, I guess, of what's sad. And so that's why as adults, if we're diagnosed with cancer, our whole world ends. But as a child, they don't really know what's going on. And I had a patient one time, she was 4 years old, and every day at between 4 and 4:30, she would ride her tricycle around the unit. So you knew every day if you went on that unit between 4 and 4:30, you were gonna laugh, and she was just the cutest thing. So I think the biggest thing is just to be out there and be aware, and don't be scared of them, because they're children. They don't want to feel like monsters. They already have some self-esteem issues, especially the teenagers. So it's really important to be there for them and to be there for their family. Doesn't mean you have to donate $1,000. It could be buying a T-shirt. It could be donating $1. It could be buying a book or reading a book to a child. But just be out there and spread awareness to it. That would be my suggestion.
Okay. And for y'all?
We take donations. Very much right.
Money works on both sides. I'll hold it right here. Call me Vanna Jimenez.
We definitely take donations, and if you are interested in volunteering, we can use it. We have a little shorts going on in our 5th floor where we ask people to come in and to be greeted and stuff. So actually I am in charge of the volunteer drivers, and he volunteer drives for me. And he actually saved me today because I wanted Carrie, our PR person, to come. She was actually a Shrine child. She was going to the Olympics for soccer, I believe it was, and she had a terrible accident, and it took her legs and part of her arm. So she became a Shrine child, and then she graduated, and she went into advertising and marketing, and then her first job happened to be at Shriners, and she came back to us now as an employee. She has a tremendous story. Yes, she does. And she was going to be here, but she got called into another story to cover. Our other PR person won Miss Texas. Her name is Megan. She's at the Galveston. I don't remember her last name, but because I just always call her Megan. But she won recently Miss Texas, if you keep up with that. She's
Never seen that.
Never seen it.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay.
Married, don't
Okay.
watch TV.
Okay. Okay. They'll be Googling it. No kidding.
Hold on.
Here, let me get my phone.
Make it good. So.
Javier, you're not allowed.
So, you would like to add anything, Reed?
One of the things, I mean, we could always use help. I mean, if you're interested in joining the Masonic Lodge, that's the first step. To be one, ask one. When I joined, I have a long family history. You spoke about how, I'm pretty young, to be a Shriner. My family has belonged to the Masonic Lodge and have very rich history belonging to the Lodge. You don't have to have a long family history of Masons. You can know someone, ask them, join, get in and help, us with this endeavor of helping these children, and it's truly a rewarding feeling that money can never give you. It's a very exciting thing to see these kids' faces and to see the transformation, even with some of the burn patients, to where they're totally disfigured. And then when the plastic surgeons that we have get done with them, these children look great. I mean,
Yes.
it's an amazing thing to see and witness. But we could definitely use help with volunteering, donations. We are currently in need. Wouldn't put this out there. We have about 5 vans that we use to transport patients. We're currently working on a deal to have a van donated to us that is a handicap accessible van, and it is a full-size van. We do need that, and look forward to hearing from someone. If you're interested in donating $5 or whatever the amount may be, whatever you're led to give, we would appreciate it to help with that van.
Well, I'm here to tell you that Jose is going to donate his yearly salary.
Perfect.
Let me get his number.
One day I hope to do that. Not today, though. Not there yet. That's a good commitment, isn't it, for you? To bring that back on. If you win,
It's for the kids.
Yes. I have 2 kids at home that I have to feed. My wife would kill me. What are you doing? No, just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, thank you so much for what y'all do. And if there's a website, we'll throw it on at the end of the show. If you want to say the website that you guys want people to look at, is there a website?
There is, and it should come across the screen
Okay.
at the end for Shriners Hospital for Children.
Okay, Shriners Hospital for Children and ACCOA?
ACCO.org, American Childhood Cancer Organization is one. NCCS.org, National Childhood Cancer can't think of Society is another one that helps our patients a lot. And then Heroes for Children. They help our patients a lot. We get a lot of money from Heroes for Children that they always help. As soon as we call them, they will figure it out. Doesn't matter what it is, they help figure it out. So.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
I hope we're able to help out some more. And like he said, one day he's going to donate his entire salary.
I think y'all should do a little competition.
Yeah, we can do that.
Live auction?
Live auction. Let's start at 50 cents.
Car. House.
No, but in all seriousness, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. And we're actually going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the rest of our show. Welcome back to Latino Talk TV. I hope you enjoyed the last segment. Now we're going to get into an exciting last part. This is actually going to be the last 15 minutes of the show for the season.
That's right. And we have some students here.
Yes, we do. You want to introduce them?
University of Houston.
University of Houston.
Go ahead, start right here.
All right, El Gato Media Network.
Yeah, El Gato Media Network, EGMN. I'm Claudia Miranda, and I am Deputy Director.
And I am Angelica Rodriguez, and I am the Editor-in-Chief for EGMN.
And I'm Vanessa Pina. I'm the Secretary for EGMN and Editor of the Venture.
Man, they sound so
I
sophisticated.
know. This is
I'm
the future faces of Univision and Telemundo
We got
and
some
NBC.
strong women here.
That's the way it should be.
Girl power.
Don't forget our faces. No, I'm kidding.
Y'all saw them here first, not on ABC or ABC or
I want to be
XYZ.
your agent. That's all I want to say.
He'll donate his entire salary.
In that case.
Right? So tell us what you got here.
So recently, we've received awards. One is from EGMN, El Gato Media Network, and just for our contribution for being leaders to the organization and the students.
Great.
Yeah.
And can you show it
Yeah.
to
This-
the viewers?
These are our EGMN awards.
Face that camera right over there.
A little further up.
Yeah. Got it?
Pick it up.
Up.
There you go, Claudia Miranda,
Okay.
and read it to yourself.
And
I'll read it.
Angelica
Let me take it.
Rodriguez.
Let me see. Awarded to Claudia Miranda on the 5th day of May, 2013, in appreciation for your leadership of the next generation of top students in the spring semester. Your ability to mobilize others and unquestionable integrity ensures a limitless future. All right, very nice.
Same for me.
Same for you.
Same.
Very, very good. So
Yeah.
please, for those that are out there that don't know what EGMN is, please share what the organization does and what
Okay.
the main goal is.
Our goal is to build media professionals, help students gain the tools and the techniques that they will need to know in the future. Just helping them start early versus waiting till after they graduate and start to like learn how to use Final Cut and all the essentials that they need.
Yes.
And writing within the
we also have the online newspaper, which is also the print newspaper, which is what I'm the editor-in-chief for. We teach them how to write better, how to improve their writing skills. We also teach them InDesign, which is the design that you need to use, or the like
Computer program?
yeah, the program.
Yeah, the program.
Program? Okay.
Yeah.
that you need to use in order to design a newspaper layout.
Okay.
And as well, we also try to emphasize how important it is to have and to commit to deadlines. So, whenever we do go out there, we know how to work under pressure well, and we know how to meet our deadlines in a professional manner. So just building everybody to be one step ahead versus other students in the same field.
Yeah, I think we need to get some help.
I know. That's what I'm thinking too.
I've never taken a media class before.
We need
Ever.
Ever.
And
We
here
need
you
seriously.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Can we be students?
It's never too late.
Javier, you up for taking another class?
I'm always ready to learn something.
so for those of you that we're just talking about Mr. Javier Perez, he is right here in the flesh, all in one piece.
Mr.
know?
Speed Bump,
Mr.
thank you
Speed
for
Bump, welcome to the show.
to the show.
But in all seriousness, I'm glad you're here, man. When I saw you on that bed, I was like, what in the world? I mean, look at you now.
Yeah, folks, I gotta tell you, this madness that's going on with texting and driving and being on your phone has to stop. I mean, I very, very easily could have been a statistic. I could have been killed, and bad enough, I was in surgical ICU for 4 days. But
your face looks better now.
well, thank you. I know. Tell me I look like Rocky. Yeah, Mick, come here, Mick. I'll fight the fight, Mick. Yeah, I'll fight the fight. But it's really, I can't tell you how many times I've been going down, and it always seems to be when I'm on 59. See somebody, and usually, nothing against young ladies, both hands on their phone texting, looking down, and they're driving. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen that happen, and the guys, also too, whatever. It has to stop. From now on, I'm telling you, I'm the next legislative session, I'm going to be there testifying. It has to stop. We need to have more laws in place to stop this.
Many of the viewers don't realize what injuries you have. Tell them what you have.
I had fractured ribs. I had broken bones and the orbital socket in my face. I had contusions to the legs. Luckily, I didn't have I didn't have a concussion or anything like that.
Didn't you have gas or air?
Oh, I did.
That's natural, though.
I had. I did have an air bubble that formed behind my lungs.
Well,
which they
Pat
said
says you're full of gas.
If it hurts to laugh, you tell him just be quiet.
It did. It used to hurt. And the thing about it is that an hour after the accident, this man is in surgical ICU, making me laugh.
Let me tell you a story. He's laying down and he's in ICU and he's all bloodied up, and his face is all torn up, and he has a big old neck brace, and I get my phone out. I get my phone out and I said, "Take your Facebook profile pic right now," and he smiles.
That wasn't a smile, Ben. That was a sneer.
Like, can I hit you right now? And I still have that picture.
I sent it to you.
He sent it to me. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
You know,
So, what would y'all do? What training can you give us to not ridicule a good friend like this? EGMN
I tell you,
training.
with friends like this, you know, when he's enemies.
That's why we love you so much.
But you know what? I was impressed because Javier had a lot of people there at the hospital for him. I mean, just like within like 2 hours, they were all there.
Couple hours.
Yeah.
It was full.
Yeah, so that
was
tells you
amazing.
how much he has done for the community and for others. Am I right?
You know, I can't. Words can't describe the support and the love and the goodwill that I felt, you know, in the hospital. I know it made the world of difference to my wife and to my kids that were there. And you know, my dad, you know, we lost my brother, Dr. John Pettis, a couple of years ago to a brain tumor. And one of the things that my dad said was, "I'm not going to lose another son," you know, and he was there in the emergency room. And he really felt the outpouring of love and support from all my friends, the NHPO community, NHPO Leadership Institute, you know, and all the people that were there. You know, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. So
It's like a brotherhood, if you will.
absolutely.
Yeah. And by the way, you
Absolutely.
all need to be part of the Leadership Institute, the next class. And I do mean that seriously. Everybody you see around you is part of the Leadership Institute. It's a great training ground for you all to network and also to just learn techniques. I know you guys are learning about media. And there's many other techniques for many other things that you do related to the community. And so I strongly encourage you all. And I'm here to tell you that we have scholarships available for you three if you're interested for the fall semester.
They're interested.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They're interested,
Tell
right?
us when.
They said when.
When is, I don't even know when the
It's
first
going to
day.
start. It's going to start mid-August. Class 9.
No, class
is
10.
Well, class 9 is finishing up. Probably it'll finish up by mid-June. So class 10 will start in mid-August. And like I said, that's our 10th class, man. That's a
But-
far cry from when we took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we took it, I know Ben and Jose were part of class 1. I was part of class 2, and it's amazing to see how far it's coming.
We don't
in
age
less
that
than 4
fast. We're
years.
just a little.
And I tell you, and I, you know, the NHPO Leadership Institute, at this next election is the next November election, the various races are going on in city and Harris and the
HISD.
the trustees. We'll probably have 5 candidates in the race, from anywhere from city council to the other races. So.
Precinct
So,
judge.
And where
are
can
y'all
we get
the teachers, or
I'm sorry?
are y'all the how does the
Jose-
Actually, Jose is
Institute-
Jose
one of
is
the
an
teachers.
instructor.
instructor?
Jose is one of the
Okay.
one of our
Jose is like,
instructors.
have you ever been to boot camp?
Yeah.
Like,
You
I am
will.
not that bad.
He
okay?
does. He
Get
does.
that whip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He does the public speaking, and he does an excellent job at
how
public
would
speaking.
we
He
sign
makes
up
you,
for it or
Talk to him.
yeah, you see, he
I
was.
don't know. For some reason, they go to the class I do, and they all cry. It's like, what the heck? Why did
But you know
Okay.
what? The first class that you go to,
Ni
I'm
chillones
the one
todos.
that runs the afternoon portion of it. You will cry.
Yeah,
He's a
absolutely.
chillon.
Will cry.
He makes him cry.
What is the
In a bad way?
meaning? Cool.
You just
Cry.
gotta try it.
He throws chile in your face. Oh, you're gonna cry.
Why are you crying? Like, turn local.
Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
Okay, all right. Getting back to the series,
We
we
don't
gotta
wanna
close
scare
up. No, but we got 5 minutes left in the show. We're gonna run out, and we're gonna be off the air for a little bit of time until the next season. We're gonna take a little hiatus. But that being said, we want to make sure EGMN comes back just as strong and stronger. Take a little summer break, and we're gonna come back in the fall. And just share real quickly your experience so far, you know, being part of the team. I mean, you guys volunteered. Next thing you know, you're on the air.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a learning experience, I would say, for all the new members, for all of us, because EGMN, this was the first year ever that we've had a leadership retreat where we learned a lot of like the foundation for writing stories and going out and interviewing, and as well as the foundation of EGMN. So through the semester, we've learned so much on how to work a little bit with InDesign, well, a lot with InDesign, because now we're the ones who are out there and putting the newspaper together, and a lot of different other techniques that we will need in our future.
So did we teach you all anything here?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
and that would be the
yeah.
next
Something.
thing.
Yeah, that will be our next thing.
We have learned a lot, you know, having to do with
What not to do.
broadcasting.
How not to run a TV show.
And it just gives us a little bit more confidence and to leave our nerves a little bit, you know, just to be more calm in front of the camera. And we've learned that here. We've learned camera experience and
Production experience, and
Yeah.
we are very grateful that, you know, you gave us this opportunity to come and kind of just like set our feet to, you know, where we need to start and what not to do and what to do and what
Give
to
a shout out to
improve.
your producers that gave you all the knowledge back there.
Thanks, everyone.
Jordan in the back.
You know what?
Pat and
Jordan,
Jordan.
Jordan, come
needs to
here.
Come over here.
No, in all seriousness,
Jordan,
Jordan.
come over here, Jordan.
Come here, Jordan. Come on.
he's saying
He's
no.
shaking.
Jordan, come on. We want you
We'll
to
get,
get
we'll
have
get
3
Pat over here
minutes.
too.
So, if you didn't know, Latino Talk TV is produced now by a wonderful young man. His name is Jordan. He's
Harris.
awesome.
So stand over here behind
Sorry,
us.
I'm just calling Jordan Harris. He's right here. There he is. This is the man. Here. You want to say anything? You want to say?
You're good?
This is just how good he is. He just stays quiet the whole time. He runs the entire show.
How old are you?
I'm 22. He's 22 years old.
22 years old and running the show. Wow,
He's
that's impressive.
Volunteered just about since the very first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third season.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
20?
20.
23.
23.
See? Your counterparts right here running the
Yes.
show.
And he's a man behind the show, and he'll be back just as strong in the fall semester.
I'm
No, fall
24.
24?
Nobody else.
24 times what? Nobody asked you.
24 times 3.
I've got underwear older than these kids.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Back that part of the show, the bad part about live TV. But thank you so much for everything you've done.
Jordan,
It's been
thank you
crazy.
so much. He does a
Thank
fantastic
you.
job, guys. We couldn't
Yeah,
do without him.
Now we need to get Pat over here.
Now, with
Pat.
that,
Come on, Pat.
Come on, Pat.
Ellie.
and the other superstar of the show that has kept all the glue, or is the glue that kept
You
everybody
might as well
together.
bring your daughter too.
2
and your
minutes
son.
left before we run out of
Come
time.
on.
And bring the other
Hurry.
kids and the young,
Come
your
on.
children.
Let's go.
Come on,
This is
Nick.
a family
Fellas.
affair right here. All
Hurry
the
up.
volunteers. All right,
You know
cameraman
what?
over here before we run out.
We're running out of time.
We're gonna run out. Come on.
Cameraman, come on.
Please come on by. Everybody has been on the show before we run out of time on the air. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You too.
Come on, Nick.
Oh yeah, well, time is
Nick.
running out.
Young man Nick right here was the youngest recipient of the Mayor's Volunteer Award. And just look here at the team. Thank you so much for everything you have done for the season.
Time's up.
All right, so that being said, thank you so much for watching Latino Talk TV. And please come back in a few months. We'll announce it through our Facebook page, through our web page. We'll want you to come back, and please invite your friends to watch the shows. And thank you so much for being
Our viewers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
y'all
We'll
say
see you
goodbye?
next season.
See you next season,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.